Welcome to Nico Connection. I'm your host, Miles Branch, and today we have probably one of the most important people in Nico Valley area, Mr. Pugnatus, the fire chief of Naperville. How's your day going?
My day is going great. This is actually the first thing I'm doing today. Yesterday I spent all day in Springfield, Illinois, talking with a lot of our state legislators. So this is first on my list today, and I'm glad to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you. Can you tell us what is it like being the fire chief of Naperville?
Well, I think it's the best job in the world. I love my job. I love my profession. It's busy. It's demanding. You never know what the job is going to entail when you come into work in the morning, because our job as firefighters and my job as a fire chief is to handle all the emergencies that happen, and even the non-emergency situations that happen on a daily basis. So it's very interesting. It changes from day to day, and it can be very exciting.
Then what do you have any interesting stories that you would like to share?
Oh my goodness. We respond to every emergency in Naperville. When somebody dials 911 and they call the fire department, we have to respond, and we can't tap somebody else on the shoulder and say, hey, go call for help. So anything from when we have flooding situations, we have people that decide that the DuPage River is a Colorado River, and we end up rescuing people out of the river. We end up making rescues. We had people that were stuck in sand silos up to their neck with sand used to make cement. So, picture yourself in that situation. We have to respond to those things, and we have to act. We can't think about it. We can't figure out what the plan is going to be long term, because we don't have any long term situations. So we're constantly training, and we're constantly being prepared, and that's really the name of the game in our profession, is emergency preparedness.
So you guys respond to basically anything, like every kind of 911 call you have to respond to?
That's right. That's right. Any emergency call comes through our emergency 911 center, which is located at the Naperville Police Department, and from there we get dispatched. So whether it's a medical emergency, certainly a structure fire call, but a special rescue call, whether it be water rescue, hazardous materials, technical rescue of all sorts, we respond to that.
Well, what inspired you to become a fireman?
Well, I go back to when I was your age, and I was in high school, and I was fortunate enough to be participating in a cadet program that the school had through a diversified occupation program. And I spent half of my day in high school at the school and half of my day at a fire department, learning what it's like to be a firefighter, being taught in a classroom setting, in a fire station, and actually doing practical things like learning how to be an emergency medical technician. And then from there, I went on to get my license as an EMT, took my formal education, associate's, bachelor's, and master's degree, and went on to be a paramedic, and a lot of other certifications that really prepared me for what I do now as a fire chief. So I look at my high school experience as something that really sparked my interest in moving further in the fire service, and because of that, we also have a program right now at the fire department for high schoolers that come out and do the same thing and similar things, and many of our students have gone on to be professional firefighters and paramedics in areas in the Chicagoland area and other parts of the country.
So you would recommend doing the program that's at your fire station for anyone who wants to become a fireman?
Definitely, I would. And what's nice about that program is even in high school, you can get between 18 and 21 college credits that can be transferable to a four-year institution. So if for some reason somebody decided to go into another field, they kind of have a head start already with their college credits. We have about 15 people in that program. And a firefighter's job isn't for everybody. We don't expect it to be, but it's certainly for somebody that does not have a great fear of heights or claustrophobia and things like that, because we can get ourselves into some very tricky situations. And our job in many instances is to take somebody's worst day. If you can imagine having to call 911 for an emergency, it could be the worst day you have, and changing that and making it better for the individual. We run into life-saving situations literally on a daily basis. And many times we actually bring new life into this world, like in childbirth cases and things like that.
So in that institution, in the program at your fire station, what would someone expect for going into the program?
Well, the first thing is they get a general familiarization of what we do, and we actually offer that program at one of our firehouses, so our Station 4 off of Brookdale and Route 59. So they come in and they do some classroom work, and then they get a chance to see what the firefighters do through their daily activities, and they participate in those types of activities as well, whether it's cleaning the station, checking the fire vehicles. The only thing that we don't have them do is respond to fire calls, and that's for liability purposes. But they get exposed to a lot of practical things during training. We get them involved with types of rescue activities and give them a really good exposure so that they have a good opportunity to know whether or not this is something that they want to go into for their future educational endeavors.
That's nice. That's nice. So why exactly would you say someone would want to become a fire officer?
Well, let's just start with a firefighter. We give our test every 2 years, and we were able to change the requirement now, so somebody that's 19 years old can take our exam. You can't be hired until you're 21, but you take a test. The last time we took our test, we held it at North Central College. We had almost 450 people come out to apply. And, they apply for a variety of reasons, but it is, and I'm a little biased, mind you, but I think it's the greatest job in the world. You get a chance to come to work not knowing what your schedule is. You're not on of course, we're a public service agency, so we don't have to sell anything. We don't have to meet any types of deadlines or anything. We just need to be prepared to respond to calls. So the person that gets into this type of profession needs to understand that they need to react at a moment's notice. They need to be compassionate. They need to understand the feelings of others and what they can do, not only with their hands-on experience, but also psychologically. I mean, we run into people that are really experiencing a lot of pain and agony in different, even psychological and emotional situations. And a lot of times we have to deal with that very particular and specific to what's happening right now. It takes a special kind of individual, it really does. We sometimes have people that start the job and realize that this isn't for them. We see some major trauma situations, whether it be an auto accident or something that happens in the home, or an industrial accident, something that happens at work. And some of these things can be very gory and very agonizing. And you not only have to see that, but you have to treat that and you have to make it better. So all of our paramedics also go through training, about a year and a half training to be a paramedic. And that involves knowing how to use a cardiac monitor, interpret cardiac strips, learning about 30 different medications, dealing with a lot of different medical emergencies, and being able to act on those very immediately. We have a response time of about 6 minutes, 90% of the time, any place in the city. So when you call 911, you can expect us to be there within 6 minutes from the time that you called, you picked up the phone, to the time that we arrive at the door. It's all about speed, and it's all about rectifying the situation at hand.
Then what would you say is like the most average day at the firehouse?
Well, an average day is a lot of training. We do over 200 hours of training a year with each firefighter. So what we do is we come to work, check all of our, check the vehicles, check to make sure that all the equipment is there. That happens every single day. We check our radios. Communication is a huge part of what we do. If we can't communicate to dispatch properly, that's a big problem. So we check our radios, we go through the day, clean the station, find out what we have in terms of maybe fire inspections and other training opportunities that we have for the day. And then the calls start coming in, and you never know when that's going to happen. So we have to adjust our day depending on how the calls are. And our day doesn't end at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Our day continues to go on from 7 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock the next day. Our firefighters work 24-hour shifts, but then the nice thing is they're off for 2 days. So you come into work, they came into work this morning on Thursday at 7 o'clock, just a few hours ago. They'll work tomorrow all night. They'll work until tomorrow morning at 7. Their partners will come in. They'll explain to them what took place the day before. And then they will be off on Friday and Saturday and come back Sunday morning. Doesn't matter whether it's a holiday. Doesn't matter whether it is your birthday or an anniversary or a vacation. You have to work your 24-hour shift unless you make a trade or you establish your vacation ahead of the time. So it's 24 hours on, 48 hours off. It is a great schedule. I don't work that schedule anymore. I work an 8-hour day, but I miss that schedule. It's very nice for a lot of reasons. However, you're away from your family a third of your life, so you have to be prepared for that as well.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for coming to Nicola. And this is Miles Branch. We're here with Mr. Pugnatis. Thank you for coming in, tuning into Nicola Connection.